For some reason, Twitter seems to think I want to hear from leave.eu. And this has been a random thing in the last few days that's just popped up. But in the mornings, I'm waking up to the tweets from leave.eu. This morning was a particularly infuriating one. Will Remainer politicians ever do the decent thing and apologise for lying to the British public? I'm going to say that again. Will Remainer politicians ever do the decent thing and apologise for lying to the British public? That's from leave.eu, who famously lied about everything. They lied about how much control the EU has. They lied about how much control the UK has. They lied about the border and immigration, how much we're financially dependent on the EU. They lied consistently, so much so that I think they were even taken to court and found guilty of lying. But that's off the top of my head from some years ago. But if you're expecting Remainer politicians to lie, what exactly for? And please tell me we're holding Brexit politicians to the same accountability. You know, when they said that the world would be knocking at our door begging for a trade deal. I can't hear all them trade deals coming in. Saying that the trade deals that we get would be better, so much better, because we'd have negotiated them. The trade deals that we've got are either carryovers, so they're not better, they're the same as what we had, or they are objectively worse. The deal with Japan, for example, is objectively worse than if we'd just remained a member of the EU. The deal with Australia really isn't that good. I mean, it's good for Australia, which is kind of tragic because Liz Truss isn't actually a Brexiteer. She doesn't actually want the best for Britain. She just wants all these trade deals to pretty much rattle keys in front of a baby. Oh, look, the shiny thing, the shiny thing. Which is why the Australian deal sucks. They might try to paint it up as, oh, well, now kids can go to Australia and not have to worry about visas. Well, congratulations, motherfucker, but we used to have the European continent and we didn't have to worry about visas. Now we do. Again, disproportionately affecting people who don't actually have a lot of money, because it is a damn sight easier to pop on Eurostar or on a ferry and head over to the European continent than it is to go to the other side of the bloody world. And what about power of our trade deals? Oh, wait. Because we actually voted, say we, Brexiteer politicians voted to take away Parliament's power when it comes to actual trade deals themselves, meaning we have less say. In fact, you have no say whatsoever. MPs have no say whatsoever. It all comes down to Liz Truss and her office. That's it. Wonderful. Where's that, what was that thing they kept yelling? What was it? Sovereignty! Where's the sovereignty in having no say whatsoever? And your voice meaning less. But hey, leave.eu's tweet is also retweeting something from Foxhole News. Something that I'm sure is credible. And just like Fox and all the rest of those garbage fires, is not at all shady, misleading in any way, shape or form. Let's go through the tweet that they've resent. Brexit Britain set to beat Eurozone in economic surge, says IMF. Brexit Britain is set to outgrow the Eurozone in 21 and 22. According to the new forecast from the International Monetary Fund, putting yet another crimp in the doom and gloom fantasies of embittered pro-EU activists across Britain. Dear God. The IMF's latest World Economic Outlook sees the UK economy surging by 7% this year as the UK booms out of the pandemic with powerful vaccine-driven recovery. Are you fucking kidding me? With the UK now second only to Canada in terms of first dose coverage and among advanced nations, as 68.7% of Brits have had at least one dose of the vaccine. Okay, alright, there's a lot to sift through in this very, very brief paragraph of bullshit. So, we have lost millions. We've lost millions, and we're losing millions every week. Now, before some gammon says that it's because of the pandemic, our trade with the rest of the world has remained pretty much consistent. Yes, there was a hit at the start of things, but it's remained pretty much consistent throughout. This year, 2021, our trade with Europe has plummeted, which is why we have lost so much money. In fact, there are so many small businesses that I've spoken to that have said it's just so much effort, so much hard work to send products to Europe that they're just not doing it. This is a problem. And this is part of the reason why we've lost millions upon millions. Another one is, again, are you ready for that? That Brexit lie. Ooh. Because lorry drivers don't want to come to the UK and deal with the bullshit that we set in place, thanks to Brexit Britain, we now have millions upon millions pounds worth of food that is rotting because it's not making the supermarkets. There have been stories up and down the country of products not being available. The difference is this time around, supermarkets are putting what they can on the shelves, but selection is dwindling. Haulier associations are saying because of the Brexit rules, it's now harder for foreign lorry drivers to come into the country and do the job, and that they haven't got British lorry drivers to do the job. Supermarkets are saying the exact same thing. And to circle it back to my old favourite doctor analogy, the doctor is showing you the x-rays, he's showing you the tumours, and Brexiteers are still going, nah, don't reel, I feel fine, innit? Tesco's will still want you to shop at Tesco's, even if you don't have an income. But if you don't have an income, you can't shop at Tesco's. And now onto the doses. The first dose honestly doesn't mean that much. And bear in mind, we are about to be overtaken by Europe as their vaccine rollout has been better in the long run, quite frankly. Yes, it had a slow start. Absolutely had a slow start, and that was annoying if you care about human life in any way, shape or form, and you realise that nationality is some bullshit politicians use to get you to hate everyone else and not question what they actually do themselves. But the UK vaccine rollout has been incredibly hampered by moronic politicians who don't know what they're doing. It was a decent rollout, but that first dose really doesn't count for much. You need both doses. You have to get both doses to be fully vaccinated. Even then, it's not a guarantee surefire way that you won't get it, but it severely reduces the risk. It's like getting into a car. You can't guarantee that there isn't going to be a car crash, but you can do a lot of things to mitigate the potential damage. And when it comes to our boom of this vaccine-driven recovery, the pingdemic is not a fault of the app. The pingdemic is not a fault of software going wrong or someone just being a little bit too sensitive. Cases are going up and going up and going up and going up. It's going to go one of two ways. Either we're going to go into another lockdown because of how piss poorly this whole situation has been handled, or we're going to lose a significant chunk of Britain's population. When you get the virus, you have to stay home. That hampers the economy. Let's pretend that human life doesn't actually mean anything, because it doesn't mean anything to most Brexiteers and to practically any Conservative out there. If you have to stay home for longer because you didn't do the correct thing in the beginning, that hurts the economy for longer. The fact that we consistently ignored the scientific advice, we consistently ignored the medical experts who currently and for the last few weeks have been screaming, Britain, what the hell are you doing, lad? It's really, really chuffing stupid. What's going on in your head? That doesn't really put anyone at ease. But Bojo, the Wonder Clown, the man who could lie about a brown paper bag and somehow still get support with people thinking it's a Lamborghini, well, that's exactly what he's doing. He's ignoring the experts while driving us off of a cliff. Probably in that Brexit van of his. The article goes on to say, that's way up from the 5.3% annual growth rate predicted by the IMF back in April. I will have to check these numbers because Foxhole seems to be the kind of company that if they tell you the sky is blue, you really should put your head out to see if the sky is actually blue. With the group's chief economist, Gita, not even going to attempt that, saying that there was greater adaptability to those restrictions and we saw economic activity coming back somewhat stronger than we expected. The economic comeback was stronger than expected because nobody expected the country or the government to be so unbelievably stupid. The economy didn't have to take a stronger hit as it did if Boris Johnson had implemented what the scientists were actually recommending when they were recommending it. Remember last year when they said, look, just have that 2-week break. Have that 2-week break at September. It will do us the world of good. He didn't do it. He waited 6 weeks, so we had to go into lockdown for months. We're getting the stronger boost to the economy right now because all those restrictions have gone. Hell, it's not even a restriction. It's not even mandated to wear a mask when you're going out anymore. Now, fortunately, and I'm happy to say that my fellow Dovorians aren't so incredibly fucking stupid, and that most of them in shops, in supermarkets, have been wearing masks. But all those safety things to keep people alive and to help the economy long term, they're gone. We are going to take a massive hit because of this. The chief says, we also hailed the fact that the UK vaccines are going very strongly. They're tailing off and we are being outdone by Europe. Again, the first dose does not count for anything. In fact, if you've had the first dose, you should pretend as if you haven't had any whatsoever. That's the mindset you should have. You shouldn't suddenly think that you're immune to everything. You're not. The second dose is crucial. Something that, again, Foxhole is leaving out. By contrast, Eurozone is forecast to grow by just 4.6% this year and 4.3% next year, lower than the 4.5% economic growth predicted for Brexit Britain. So here's the thing: 4.6% is pretty damn good. It's pretty good. It depends on where you're starting. If you've got 4.6% of £1,000 and I've got 4.6% of £100, you've got more money than me. So percentages are a little bit misleading, and there's a lot more that goes into this, but this is a typical Brexit rag where they do the same thing that they've always done. They mislead, they lie, and they hope that people are too stupid to actually fact check them. Leave.eu. Same old tricks.